Welcome to the Church Solutions Podcast, brought to you by JSL Solutions. The Church Solutions Podcast is designed to help equip you and your church in the use of technology and other tools and services. And now, here are your hosts, Steve Lacey and Phil Thompson.
And it's so good to have everybody with us today for another edition of the Church Solutions Podcast.
Hi, I'm Steve Lacey.
And I'm Phil Thompson. You know, I was listening to one of our older podcasts. I think I told you this, and it sounded like we were both on, like, you know, Xanax or something. We just sounded really kicked back and really laid back.
A little too relaxed.
Well, I
so
thought
now we're
so.
going to be high energy today?
Yeah, well, that's the goal. I don't know,
right.
But I just felt like it was kind of laid back. I don't know. That was a couple years ago or whatever, so maybe I was tired or something, and you didn't like the material, maybe. I don't know what it was, but I just felt that way. So anyhow, thanks for being with us, folks, for another edition of our podcast. We call it Church Solutions Podcast because we like to help churches. We're actually a tech company, and what do we do very quickly, Steve?
So we provide live streaming, mobile apps, church management, and websites.
Yeah.
And we had some big news last week, right?
What was the big news?
We made the top 10.
Oh, that's right. We did. Made the top 10 on somebody's list. I don't remember.
Capterra, I think.
Okay, Capterra.
They said they were ranking the top church podcasts, and we were. They didn't tell us where we fit, but we were
in the top 10.
Yeah, definitely in their top 10.
Well, just in time for the March Madness tournaments coming up. We'll get a good seed, maybe. They must be hurting for podcasts or something to pick us. But anyhow, we're glad you're here, and we do like to help churches. Our podcasts talk a lot about things from tech-related deals to even working with volunteers, and we just want to help pastors, volunteers, church leaders. We want to help churches succeed. So we do go off on different topics. We have different guests on, but today it's just me and Steve. And what are we going to talk about today, Steve?
Today we're talking about streaming video for your church.
Streaming video. We know nothing about streaming video.
No. So we're going to talk about a bunch of different types of streaming video. I'm
being facetious. We actually, one of the things we do is streaming video with StreamingChurch.tv. But we want to talk about the different types and different platforms out there. Mm-hmm. So if you're a pastor or a volunteer or whatever in your church, and this is specifically for your church, so, okay, you might think, I should probably do this streaming thing, or maybe you already do stream. There's some other things out there that you might be interested in, and we'll talk about Facebook. We're going to talk about YouTube, maybe Instagram if we get to it. We want to talk about, what's really good about having some kind of a platform. So let's just jump right into it. So
it's all the trend right now is everyone's incorporating or has recently incorporated live streaming into their apps.
Right.
So
yeah, and that's a good thing. All right. So let's talk a little bit. So streaming to Facebook. Let's talk about Facebook. All right. They have almost 2 billion accounts out there. It's very popular among people. I've got some stats here. There's over 1 billion mobile daily users on Facebook. 5 new profiles are created every second. Some of those might be fake profiles. I don't know. And of the people out there, of the humans out there, 76% females on the entire planet of Earth, 76% of them, according to this stat, are on Facebook.
Or have a Facebook account.
All right. I don't know where you got that, but I'm going by what you told me here. And you looked this up, and it was on the internet, right?
So it's got to be true, right?
It's got to be right. So 66% of all the living males out there have a Facebook account. And here's some interesting stats. I thought it was kind of interesting. Midweek, they have a really high traffic during midweek between 1 and 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
That's the peak time for Facebook in it.
I wonder if people are just bored and they're just like, I have nothing to do. I'm tired of my job.
I'm at work and it's after lunch. Let's go look on
Facebook, see what's going on. 83 million fake profiles is an estimate on Facebook. I read somewhere where Facebook really doesn't know. And then here's one that I'm not surprised about. 50% of people 18 to 24 go on Facebook right when they wake up.
So see what happened overnight.
See what's going on. Well, I kind of do that. I usually have a cup of coffee first, and then I might look at my Facebook account. So Facebook, you can now stream live to Facebook. Came out, what, a year ago, 2 years ago? I don't remember now. I can't.
It wasn't
remember.
2 years
I don't
ago.
remember. It was a year ago, probably, right? No?
No, I don't think so.
Last week?
No, it was more than last week, but it was
right.
less than a year ago.
All right, so less than a year ago, according to Steve Lacy, you could start streaming live to Facebook.
Maybe a year ago.
And so let's talk a little bit about that. You got a church, you want to stream live to Facebook. First of all, how do you do it? And certainly if you have, a mobile device, you can do it very easily.
Yeah, that's what they incorporated was from their app. You can stream from their app. So you've got your phone and you just hit the go live button, and wow, you're streaming to Facebook. But that's not going to work too well in a church setting.
No, I mean there are people that have done it. I guess they sit on the front row and they hold their phone up or something and do it, or their
How
iPad or something.
Could that be?
Yeah, but I
the guy in the front with his hand raised the whole service,
filming the thing, or streaming the thing. Yeah. So all right. So let's say, okay, I Facebook. You just read some stats, Phil, about Facebook. Sounds like it might be a good place for my church to be on Facebook. I mean, you probably have a Facebook account for your church. If you do, if you don't, you might want to consider that. But let's say, okay, it seems like there's a lot of people there. Maybe I should stream to Facebook. So, I mean, how can I do it? I mean, I don't want to be having somebody on the front row holding their phone up. Is there a way to do it?
Yes, there are ways to do it. I mean, obviously, those that have an account with us, it's integrated to stream to Facebook. So there's a tool built into it that allows you to send your stream over to Facebook.
So if you have an account with us, StreamingChurch.tv, shameless plug, you can actually configure your live encoder to not only stream with us and on your Streaming Church TV platform, which is embedded hopefully on your church website, but you can also, there's a setting you can use on your live encoder to stream to your Facebook page.
Right.
But, I mean, it's going to have to be something like the live encoder is going to have to be something that allows you to send multiple streams.
Right.
So vMix,
and the other,
vMix would be one. What's another one? Wirecast?
Wirecast and vMix. And actually, both of them have some facilities built in for streaming to Facebook as well. Okay.
So they could stream to Facebook using that and not even have to get credentials or anything. Well, they have to get credentials. It's kind of a process.
Yes.
It's not just, okay, click this little button and now I'm streaming to Facebook. You can't do that. You have to jump through what I call some hoops. You got to jump through a few hoops to stream to Facebook.
Right.
So how far do we want to go with this interview here? Do we want to talk about how they can do it, or just it's because you can also stream, and I'm stumbling here a little bit, but you can actually, there is a setting on like Wirecast and I think vMix where you can use that and not even go through our admin control panel to do it.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning earlier.
Right. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so there's a couple of some of the encoders have the built-in destination set up as Facebook. So it walks you through logging into Facebook and setting the destination. Right. I know within Wirecast, they prevent you from going to more than just Facebook. So if you choose you want to go to Facebook, you can't go to Facebook and stream to your church website as well.
You can't.
Not using Wirecast.
Unless
you use our interface.
So you can use Wirecast, but you use our interface. And when we say interface, we're talking about StreamingChurch.tv's admin control panel.
Right.
And so you could stream Facebook, stream to your church, and you're good. But if you don't use us, then you want to stream to Facebook, that's the only place you can go.
Through if you're using the Wirecast, built-in Facebook stream thing, it limits the stream to go to just to Facebook.
Yeah. Why do they do that, I wonder?
It's probably I think it's a licensing thing with Facebook. They say we want to own this. So
okay. All right. So it's possible to do that. And now if you stream to Facebook, like with our deal, and we have a platform where you have video and you have chat and all those different things, you obviously don't have that on Facebook. So you could stream to your Facebook page live. I guess people could comment.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can comment on it.
On it, and
it will archive on your Facebook page for you when the live stream's over. Another limitation is Facebook's will constrain your stream to 90 minutes or less.
Okay. All right.
There are some potential ways to get around that, but that's kind of the default. Well, they'll let you go 90 minutes, and then they shut you off.
Okay. You have to have a personal profile to have a business Facebook page or
you have
church
to have
page.
A Facebook account, and then you can determine where you want to send your stream to. If you're a manager of other business pages or things like that, then you can, like your church page, you can say, I want to broadcast this to my church page if I'm an admin over my church page. So
we had a customer tell me recently that he was streaming to Facebook, but they shut down his ministry account because he had a profile that was, he said, a fake profile. And I said, why did you have a fake profile? So in other words, he had a Facebook account, and then he created another, a page for his church, or it's a ministry, and somehow or another they shut it down. And he said, well, it's because my Facebook account, my original account, my personal account was not really real. And I said, why did you have a different? Why would you have a fake account? And he didn't want, I don't know, he didn't want people knowing who he was, or I don't know what the deal was, but they shut it down, and then he went back and actually created a real profile and then did another thing. I guess so far he's good to go. But the other issue you can run into with Facebook is copyright issues with like music, right?
And I know I haven't heard, you may have heard some, but I know with the YouTube, the music, they have automated algorithms that are sniffing out what you're doing, and they'll shut you down if they hear, oh, that's Amazing Grace. That is no longer in the public domain.
Yeah. Wait, are you saying that Amazing Grace is no longer public domain?
I don't know. It probably
confuse some people here. But so if you're running a music video, or if you're running,
or if you're even performing music,
and it's copyrighted,
and you're doing it good enough to match the original artist, it may
they might shut you off.
They may shut you down.
Wow. Okay. And that's Facebook and YouTube, which we'll get into YouTube in a moment.
I know YouTube probably has a better system for catching that.
Right.
Than
Interesting.
Maybe not. I don't know. But I know it's really prevalent with YouTube.
So you do have to jump through some hoops to do the Facebook stream. And I know, like, my understanding is even if you do it with us, you're streaming and then you shut your stream off, and then you go to turn it back on a little later, you have to get a whole nother set of credentials from Facebook. You can't just turn it back on. So, and for those of you who may not follow what we're saying, if you don't do streaming video, you have to have a live encoder, and you have to have credentials to be able to stream to different places. And for Facebook, you have to grab credentials. They'll give you credentials, but those credentials change after so long. So you shut the stream off and come back to it, I don't know how much longer later, but you come back to it and use those same credentials that Facebook gave you. Not going to happen. Ain't going to work. So you have to go get more credentials from Facebook, which is it can be a little annoying, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. So, if we're talking, there's obviously some pros, some of the cons as well. You can embed the live video that you're streaming to Facebook onto your church site. Right. And I know actually a church very familiar to me, my home church, stopped streaming to Facebook because it was detracting from the traffic to their church site. They want everybody coming to the church site.
So their SEO went down,
They felt like, yes, it had a negative impact on the traffic to the church because they want people at the church website.
Yeah. So their thinking was, okay, since we've been streaming on Facebook as well as the church website,
yes,
the numbers went down of people going to the church website because they're going to Facebook, but they felt like that was detrimental, or at least not a positive thing for their SEO. And by SEO, I mean search engine optimizing, or whatever it's called, optimization or whatever.
Yes.
So they felt like, so they stopped streaming to Facebook.
Yeah.
So people would go right to their website.
Right.
Because they feel like that will help their
ministry.
Help their ministry and help Google.
And one of the other things, just just a precaution. We get this when we talk to different ministries and such, and that's actually one of the stats that I mentioned. It was within YouTube. Is you can get great numbers within Facebook because it will show that you had 400 people in your service.
Watch your video, 400 people.
Yeah, but what was it? It was 50% watch 10 seconds or less.
The YouTube stat, which we'll get to here in a moment, was that 20% start your video will leave after the first 10 seconds.
Within the first 10 seconds.
Within the first 10 seconds, 20% will start and leave. I'm looking at some YouTube stats here, but yeah, so you can get a lot of hits, but doesn't mean they're staying the whole time.
Right.
And in this case, they might be leaving within 10 seconds.
20%.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. So yeah. All right. Okay. So, but YouTube is an option if you want to do some of that. Go the extra mile. It certainly can give your church some exposure, I guess. So you want to talk about YouTube a little bit? Streaming to YouTube.
Sure.
So YouTube has. I thought it was 2 billion accounts. You corrected me because, again, you looked on the internet, and it's always right. 1.3 billion accounts is what YouTube has. About 300 hours of video per
are uploaded every
minute. Every minute. 300 hours of video is uploaded every minute on YouTube. That's incredible. That's crazy, isn't it?
That's going to put a lot of video up there, yeah.
And YouTube started, the first video was uploaded back in April 2005.
Yes.
Wow. That's amazing.
Which is, in our years, is not long ago at all, but in maybe millennial years, that was a long time ago. But
yeah,
to me, that's... Yeah.
Well, in tech years, yeah. Almost 5 billion videos now are on YouTube. 30 million visits a day. And YouTube, the mobile app, they have a mobile app, which I don't have, I don't think. You can stream, actually. In fact, I think was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yeah, they just announced they updated the mobile app to be able to stream live from the mobile app.
So you can stream live from your mobile app. There's one little catch, though, isn't there?
There's one catch. You've got to have 10,000 subscribers to your channel before they enable it for you.
10,000 subscribers.
To your channel, yeah. So
to your own channel.
So that's going to be...
what do we have, about 5?
I'm not sure.
5 or 6 people?
5 or 6,000?
No. 5 or 6 people.
I don't know. So that's going to limit, unless you're the Lady Gagas of the world, you may not have that many subscribers to your channel.
Yeah. Well, and you're not going to wear a meat suit or climb out of an egg probably for that. So, wow. So that's amazing. So, and every year, YouTube increases their viewers by 60%. So every year it jumps 60% more than last year.
Right.
The year before that, every year 60%. And then
the viewer hours, I think, are jumping
60%.
So
by 60%.
Yeah,
that's amazing. And we did say that people can watch a video, but 20% of them, when they watch your video, 20% will likely leave after the first or within the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, so make that first 10 seconds very compelling.
Yeah, exactly. First impressions mean a lot. So in this case, the first 5 seconds, you better have it. Better have it down. Huh? Wonder what that's true. Wonder what that's like in podcasts. Wonder if our first 10 seconds is the most important.
No,
in our
podcasts are completely different. But.
All right, so let's talk about YouTube and church. So sounds like, hey, YouTube is a place to be. Everybody's on it. So how can my church get on YouTube?
So it's a similar process to the Facebook one, but I mean, my experience and your experience, it's not quite as straightforward as Facebook, which was not 100% straightforward.
Yeah.
Getting to stream to your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So, but it's a similar kind of process. You got to go there through and request some credentials and set up a live event. Yeah. And then put those credentials into your streaming encoder so that it's going out to the right place.
Yeah. I was fooling around a little bit. I think you were too a couple of weeks ago with it. And again, you can use Wirecast to stream to YouTube. You can use vMix. and you can jump through a bunch of hoops, but it was really hard. And then I found what I thought was maybe a little easier, and that was to go kind of bypass Wirecast destination preset deal and go to my channel and set up a live event, because you got to go in there and, as an admin, set up a live event, and then you are able to grab the credentials, the username and the stream key and all that, and then take those and bring those over, copy and paste those over to Wirecast and do that. It seemed to work when I did that. But, we were fooling around with it for a while, and it was, again, you're going through a process here. It's not just simply open up your encoder and click play like you would, like if you're just using us to stream or somebody else.
Yeah, and the other downfall is you get to do it every time, because those credentials only last, like you said, a few minutes.
They only last, and you shut it off, and then they're gone.
Yeah, so then you got to go through the process again, set up another live event.
Yeah.
So it takes a little bit more work, but it can be done.
Yeah, it can be done, and it's definitely something to consider. But again, just as we said just when we were talking about Facebook earlier here, you still have to deal with copyright issues.
Yeah, and that's a big problem, because we have our own Streaming Church Media Vault, and we publish the videos over to YouTube, and we'll get a lot of takedown notices, and these are just the sermons as well.
Wow!
And it's all based on copyright. They'll go, oh, we're transitioning to this other segment, and we've got 10 seconds of this video that plays as we go from the pastor handing off to the guy doing announcements or whatever.
Yeah.
And that sets the flag, and so they'll take down the videos. And you get too many strikes, they won't let you publish anymore.
Wow. Interesting. So, 3 strikes, you're out. Okay. Interesting. And by the way, for those listening that actually do streaming video, you got this thing at your church called bandwidth, your internet, and if you are streaming to multiple places, you better make sure you have enough upload speed at your house of worship or wherever it is you're doing it from. Your internet's got to have good upload speed to cover, if you start streaming multiple locations, multiple destinations, you got to have that. If you don't have that, then you got a problem. I had a customer today.
That's right. Yeah, it's a common misconception. They go, well, it's working on my computer. It's not showing up on the web very good, though. What's going on?
Yeah.
And it's
check your upload speed.
Yes, it's almost always your network from your facility to the servers where it's getting served up.
Yeah, I had a customer doing a free trial on an island, like a little bit east of Africa somewhere. I forget the name of the island, but he was having issues with his live encoder. I said, what's your upload speed at your location? And he goes, well, it's 250. I said, 250 kilobytes per second, right? He goes, yes. I said, that's your problem. It's not, you don't have enough internet.
I'm sending a stream up at a megabit per second. What's the problem?
Not going to work. So, all right. So quickly here, we got a couple more minutes left. There's other things to consider, and one of them is Instagram. We just had Phil Baudel, I think it was his name. Did I get his name right? Phil was on here a couple weeks ago as our guest.
Baudel, yes.
Baudel. Okay. Baudel. Okay. I'll never get that name right. And then we actually published it, and I spelled his name wrong. It's up on YouTube, or it's up on iTunes. Well, it's on YouTube too, but it's on iTunes, and I spelled his name wrong. So not only did I mispronounce it, but what church was he with? I can't think off the top of my head, but fairly good sized church.
Texas, large church
in Texas. Really great guy, and he was talking to us about Instagram. That was a couple of weeks ago, so you can look that up. But Instagram, you can live stream to Instagram, but again, you're looking, and I don't think there's any. To my knowledge, you can only use a mobile device.
Right.
But what he was saying was you could do some streaming and capture it, and Instagram will capture it, and then you can use it to promote what you're doing at your church. So you set up an Instagram account, you can stream. Again, you're just using mobile devices, so you're probably not going to stream a message or a sermon, but you might stream maybe a piece of a sermon for a few seconds, or something that's going on, an event at the church, and put that on your Instagram account and share that with people. And so that would be a good means of connecting with people and letting people know what's going on out there. But Instagram, again, has 600 million active users. So Instagram is growing. And what they call it is story. That's kind of what they call, do an Instagram story, which is basically a live stream that becomes an archive. So there you have it. And you got Periscope, which is connected with Twitter, right? Twitter owns Periscope. Is that how that goes? And I had a Periscope account for a while. I guess I still have it, but I don't use it. I was walking my dog one day, and I thought, I'm going to go with Periscope. This is when it first opened up. So I had probably 10 viewers right away that I had no idea who they were. 10 viewers watching me walk my dog. And, watching him lift his leg on the fire hydrant, and there you have it. So, again, Periscope, Twitter, you could do that, but again, you're pretty much confined to your mobile device.
Right.
But, it's something to consider if you're going to do something, an event or something at the church. Snapchat's another one. Snapchat is another one, which I have no idea how to use.
You're not a Snapchat person?
It's 5 seconds long or something.
Yeah, the videos, they're short.
And you can put little graphics on there, make yourself look like a mouse or something. Seriously, I think it's something like that on Snapchat. Do you know that?
My wife's
like a mouse.
Big time Snapchat person.
So, do a Snapchat with your pastor and, make him look like a mouse. And so we're pretty much out of time here, but I think that, if you are able to do something like this, able to get on a platform, you're able to use Facebook, able to use even YouTube, I think overall it's a good thing if you're able to have the energy and the time to put into it.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're one of our customers, we make it really easy.
Yeah,
so,
we certainly would work with you on it and help you. So
we have tools built into our system that integrate into at least the Facebook piece.
Yeah, the Facebook piece for sure. And but yeah, I think if you're able to, as I just said, put the energy and time into doing some of this other stuff besides your other streaming, then I think it's a good thing. Anytime you can get your church out there, on social media, and we're presupposing you do a good job with your whatever you're doing out there with your video, whatever and then we've got other podcasts on talking about how to effectively use social media, so we won't get into that. So we're out of time. So, all right, if we can help you, if anything, if you have some questions about this whole topic of streaming to Facebook, streaming to YouTube, and these other platforms, feel free to send us an email, support@StreamingChurch.tv. If you want to tell us what you think about this, or think we're off the wall, or you have some suggestions, again, that's a great way to get a hold of us. So we're out of time. He is Steve Lacey. I am Phil Thompson. Thanks for listening to the Church Solutions Podcast, and we will catch you again next time.